Welcome to my very first Dark Souls 1 challenge video, and for the first one I want to see if I can beat the entirety of Dark Souls 1 without ever changing my right hand weapon. So for starters, we chose an appropriate name. We chose the Thief as our starting class and the Black Fire Bombs as our gift. That way we can get through the asylum as fast as possible. And honestly, when I started, I hadn't really defined the rules of the challenge yet. So further down the line, I did decide that all damage I did had to come from my right hand weapon, except for one particular instance, but I will tell you when I made that decision. At the very start of the game, we pick up the key for the asylum cell, and we already have a weapon in our right hand, so we already know that the straight sword hilt is gonna have to be our weapon for the rest of the game, basically. So we cannot change that weapon, we cannot change anything, and the rules are simple. I can only deal damage with my right hand weapon, except for one particular instance in the future and the beginning where I did use the Black Fire Bombs, but since the rules were not defined at this particular moment, well, it is what it is. But yeah, down the line I did decide that all of the damage would have to come from my right hand weapon. So we start by throwing just a few fire bombs to kill the asylum demon really quickly. And as soon as it's down, we make a run for the exit to go talk with Oscar so he can give us our Estus Flask and the big pilgrim's gear, right? At this point, I'm thinking, well, I don't need anything, so I'm not gonna pick it up, but then I'm like, you know what, maybe I can take the shield, just in case I want to parry someone in the future. We skipped the weapon because we definitely don't need that one, although we pick it up just for the fun of it, we never end up using it, so it is what it is. We run past the hollow and we get ready to get our Estus Flask. Get the flask and both of the keys and just book it out of the asylum. We definitely don't need anything else from here right now, so we really don't need to linger for much longer. After taking the Crow Express, we take the souls that we have and we use them to level up a little bit of strength. This was a little bit of a mistake. I will need strength in the future, but not right now. I probably could have done better by putting those levels into intelligence. But anyway, we pick up a few things from around Firelink Shrine just to start getting a head start. We pop those and we level up a little bit more. Again, strength is not going to be important for this run for a while, but anyway, we made that mistake at the beginning and it just makes our progress a little bit tougher at the beginning. So we get ready to make the skip for the lower Undead Burg. I absolutely did it on the first try. Anyway, I just thought that I needed the Residence Key because, you know, even though I have the Master's Key, I'm not sure if I can open the door for Griggs without it. I think I can, but yeah, just in case I need it. So I land the jump down and immediately get ganked. I just tried to run around everything and attempted to get behind the bonfire. I failed.
God damn it.
I get ganked by the hollows, unfortunately. I kicked the hollows down the ladder a couple of times just to, you know, kill them so they are not interrupting me at all. I absolutely land the jump. And I jump again down to Undead Berg lower level. And immediately get ganked again. And frustratingly, I end up dying again. This happens a few times, but, well, it is what it is. I'm terrible at this game, as you can probably tell. After landing in a position that gets us in a lot better position right now to run to the bonfire, I finally made it to the bonfire and just ran behind it to make sure that everything kills itself. This dog didn't. And yeah, I get ganked by the hollows again. Yep, didn't even jump that one. Eventually I got frustrated with those hollows and I decided to, yeah, no, I just gotta take them out. I really don't want to keep doing this. So after getting killed again by the hollows, yeah, I decided, nah, I'm just gonna chuck a couple of the fire bombs that I got from Firelink and just get them out of the way. It was at this point that I realized that if I continue to do so by using this fire bombs, I mean, it's gonna become a firebomb only run if I allow myself to do that. So this is when I decided, nah, all of my damage has to come from my right hand weapon and we'll just figure it out as we go. So I land the jump down to Undead Berg again, run around a little bit and get killed again because I suck at this game. Ganked again. I failed the jump again and again and again, and finally land the jump again. And I thought I was gonna suck at that point. Like I thought I was not gonna make that jump, but I did. So that was fine, I suppose. I run to the bonfire again, hoping that this time I can actually get everybody to die. Eventually I just decide, nah, just quit out. That's what I gotta do. I finally free up Griggs, and now we can actually start dealing some damage. I pick up my Sorcerer's Catalyst that I'm gonna be needing. I speak with Griggs to make him move to Firelink Shrine. I open the shortcut just to make sure that I don't have to land the jump again. Grab a couple more things from around just to get a little bit of currency. Pop the souls. speak with Griggs, and get magic weapon.
Well,
Since magic weapon adds a flat magic damage to our weapon, it depends exclusively on intelligence, so we're gonna start pumping everything into intelligence. I absolutely landed that jump first try, and we test our damage. 23, yeah, that's definitely not happening right now. We need more damage if we want to take the Black Knight. We get the Gold Pine Resin, which we will need later, and we fail to plunge attack the Taurus Demon. Anyway, not that the plunge attack was gonna do us much favors, since the magic damage is a set amount. So even if we landed it, it's not gonna be much damage. So we just climb up, rebuff our sword, land the plunge attack, and we realize, yeah, that's not a lot of damage. And probably get killed by the Taurus Demon. We'll come back to this one later. After dying for the second time, we're like, yeah, I'm not sure my damage is up there yet. I open the watchtower. Probably decide to run away from Havel, as I definitely do not have the damage right now to take him. I go to Undead Burg, light the bonfire, get the Firekeeper Soul, go back down to Firelink, reinforce my Estus, get the Transient Curses and the Firekeeper Soul that I will need in the future, die to the Drake, get the Basement Key, get killed by rats, get killed several times trying to open up the shortcut. Stupid rats, like, literally. I think every single enemy killed me around here, at least once. I finally get to open up the shortcut, and at this point I decide I probably need a few levels if I wanna make my magic damage better, so we did a little bit of farming with the help of the Drake. So that way we can actually pump a few levels into intelligence and get our damage just that tiny bit higher. Magic weapon, how it works is it gives us 0.8 times our magic adjustment. So our magic adjustment will go up based on our level, so we get up to 25 intelligence, and we test our damage with the Black Knight again. I totally didn't die there. $56. Okay, that's double the damage that we were doing before. So we decide to take the Black Knight out this time around. Yeah, it's gonna be a long process. We do that for a while, and eventually Black Knight goes down. Do we need to kill him? Not really. I mean, sure, Chunk is good, but yeah, it's not much interesting with it. We decide to try and take on Havel, and well, first of all, that idiot Hollow followed us, and 24 damage is not that great. So yeah, we'll come back to it. We'll light the bonfire and die, because I suck at this game. And die to the Black Knight a few times. You know. Finally get the shield, Died a couple more times. And then finally killed the Black Knight to get him out of our way. Now, since our damage depends on magic adjustment, I thought, well, if I get the Crown of Dust, that should help. So I decided to try and take on the Hydra, and it didn't work out. So we'll come back to it later, once again. I cannot wait to start dealing a little bit more damage. We finally used the Firekeeper Soul that we forgot. We tried to take the Channeler and promptly die a few times. Okay, this time I didn't die. I get up to the Channeler, deal a good hefty amount of damage, and just fall off. Okay, round 2. Now this idiot falls down. So I decide to go and free Lautrec while I'm at it. Right in the nuts! And my buff ran out, so I just make a break for it. After freeing this ungrateful bastard, I realized, wait, nobody's following me. Huh, I didn't know they couldn't enter here. Oh, they got stuck. Well, I try a plunge attack, not really dealing that much damage. I don't know how I survived that one. I really don't. Remember, the Channeler is already pretty weak, so I do not want to die here and come back to it, because the more I take, I mean, if I die, I will have to try and take him on once again from 0. So I come back and he's already back up, so I just finish him off, literally one more hit. And we start leveling up our straight sword hilt. And give the gargoyles a little try. See how it goes. Well, not a great start. And I died. I make sure that this guy receives his canonical death. And since it's faster to just die, I throw myself out. Get the first ring that we actually find useful in this run. And get ready for another go at the gargoyles. Damage is not amazing.
God damn it.
But yeah. Eventually we do manage to kill one. And once the other one is isolated, it's a lot easier to just finish it off. We go up, we ring the first bell. Kill this Titanite demon for the demon Titanite. And we promptly do a little bit more farming just to get some levels. We really desperately need a little bit more vitality and endurance, so we farmed for a good long while. I mean, I was here for probably around an hour, if not more, just trying to get my vitality up to 20 and my endurance as high as I could. I ended up leaving it at like 13 for the time being. But yeah, I didn't really want to like over level too much right now anyway. So yeah, I just leveled my endurance to 13, my vitality to 20, and we moved on to the next part. We decided to give Havel a try once again, since his ring would be very useful. Get flattened while applying our buff. Well, that's not great damage. That's also not great damage. But after a few backstabs, parries, and just stray hits that we managed to land, and boom, the big guy goes down. If you're wondering why I'm not two-handing my weapon, it's because most of the damage is coming from the magic. So the faster I swing, the better. I attempt to kill the Hydra one more time. Got one head, got another head. Immediately die because I'm an idiot. Died due to gravity. Caught one head, caught next head, caught the next head. One more. Okay, one more. Just one head left. And after fighting with it for a good long while trying to figure out how to kill it, yeah, it's not looking great. It's really hard to hit that last head, especially since we really don't know exactly where it is. At some point I'd run out of my buff, so I'm thinking like, well, what am I gonna do now? Eventually I decide to use my very limited cold pine resins. And after looking at it and how it behaves for a while, I decide, okay, this is the pattern, this is how I'm gonna beat it, and I whiff. Well, not really going great, but after one last hit, I finally managed to defeat the Hydra. Now one step closer, just gotta kill this golem. If you don't know, golems are very resistant to magic damage, so we'll see how it goes. Let's see that damage. 16 per swing. Absolutely magnificent. I get killed by the golem. Go back for round 2. Apply my buff. Two-hand my weapon just for that little bit of extra physical damage. And after a pretty long fight, at least for golem standards, finally land the last hit after being uppercut and having her jaw disjointed basically, and we free Dusk, finally.
So, most gracious, I cometh from an... So, my hope is, would this... My heart felt, then I should, thou art see.
After saying yes to her, we promptly run out to speak with her at her summon sign. We realize that the columns are moving towards us, so we just skip through the dialogue as fast as we can. Of course, learning the best gesture ever. buy a better catalyst for now,
If thou art in
and immediately make a run for it. Get the Crown of Dusk, the Crest of Artorias, and a few more Titanite shards, just to finish upgrading our weapon and start upgrading a little bit of our armor. Then we decide to give Quelaag a little try. At this point I'm already wearing the Crown of Dusk, but later down the line I did realize that it was not boosting my damage at all. So eventually I took it off, and yeah, everything with the Hydra ended up not being useful at all. But yeah, it is what it is. Let's see that damage. Oh boy, this is gonna take a while. At least I have 5 casts. I misread the explosion. Because, yeah, I'm not really good at this game, as you can probably tell. Yeah, I thought that it was the explosion, for example. As you can see, I cannot really read her movements. I get trapped into the lava and I promptly die. I totally don't die getting power within. And now we need a Pyromancer's Flame to get it, so time for Capra. We managed to avoid the dogs mostly. Apply our buff. Break our arm. Twice. I don't know how that second dog died. I mean, if it died from the fall, I would be very surprised, but I didn't swing. So I don't know what happened. Damage is not that bad, and after a while we managed to land enough hits to take Capra out. We free Laurentius. I didn't die there. Get our Pyromancy Flame. Open up the gate to Artorias. Artorias is great. I mean, we do a little bit of farming using this Forest Covenant idiots. Finally, we managed to get our endurance up to 15. Our intelligence up to 30. And we accidentally
there is nothing more to
say the wrong thing to the cat. So, well, time for Sif. Got killed by Sif. A few times. We'll level up intelligence a little bit more. Now up to 40. We try changing it up and not using power events sometimes, just to make sure that our health is not constantly taking down, but that doesn't really change much. We end up dying again. we use power within this time. And I'll be very, very careful not to get hit too much. Just keep slashing at the ankles. After a while, the poor dog starts limping, and we just put it out of its misery. As soon as our stamina recovers a little bit, and there we go. Got the Covenant of Artorias and Sif's Soul. With that, we decide to give Quelaag another try. Alright, now that we have 40 intelligence and power within, let's see what our damage numbers are looking like. That's considerably better. I mean, I still cannot dodge the explosion, but, well, we died a few more times. We get tempted by the summon sign. But eventually, after waiting the poison out, we fight Quelaag again, and as you can see, the damage is not great, but it's much better than before. And after a while, the Chaos Bitch goes down. We ring the second bell and decide to give Ceaseless a try. There is one thing that I'm really ashamed of, and it's that I have not once in my life been able to cheese Ceaseless. Why? I'm not really sure. Every time that I try to run to the fog door, it just doesn't happen, and well, I mean, this sort of thing also happens. So, yeah, I think we'll leave this one for later. With both bells rung, we go up to Sense. Grab a few things. Free Logan. Get another copy of Magic Weapon, since I'm not sure how much damage I will need. We open the shortcut, kill the giant at the top. And then we give a try to the Iron Golem. Hopefully with 10 casts of Magic Weapon, that should be enough, unless we get kicked off. Or thrown off. Several times, actually. But eventually we do manage to make him fall. And that's it. Access to Anor Londo, baby. We break it off to get the Great Magic Weapon. Get some Titanite, Demon Titanite. Lower the elevator. Get Great Magic Weapon. Get past the archers. Talk to our biggest savior and get the Straight Sword Hill to +10. And here is the important part. We decide to convert this Straight Sword Hill into the Great Sword of Artorias. And boom, now we have a weapon without changing our weapon. Unfortunately, we do not have the stat required to wield it, so, well, back to farming. This weapon does require a good amount of strength, some dex, some intelligence, and some faith. So I did need to farm for a while, since getting enough strength to two-hand this weapon requires 16 strength. I also need 18 dexterity. I already have the required intelligence, so I only need to bring my faith up to 20. And after a while, we managed to get those requirements, and we can now finally two-hand our weapon. So let's see how we are doing. Ooh, that's so much better. That is the damage that I need. Whew. All right. We pretend to be an egg and drop a prism stone and a dung pie to get a little bit more demon titanite. I totally intended to do that. We get the rusted iron ring, the peculiar doll. We kill the stray demon for the titanite slab, which we will not end up using, but I mean, it's 3 souls at least. We get some demon titanite from Sens, Havel's armor for later. Some more demon titanite. A little bit more demon titanite. And we finally got our Great Sword of Artorias 2+5. Now, time for our Ornstein smoke. In our very first try, we managed to kill Ornstein quite easily, honestly. I decided to pop Power Within to make the fight with Smo a little bit faster and get stunned because I suck. On our second attempt, we do manage to get him down. We don't use Power Within this time around, because if you can look at my bar, I'm ready with the Humanities because I ran out of Estus already. We still suck at dodging. And after a couple more hits, we're done with the duel. 2 tries, not too bad.
Chosen undead.
We proceed to get the Lord Vessel and anger Fremt by jumping down. We place the Lord Vessel to open up everything. Skip the entirety of the catacombs. And after a very short fight with Pinwheel, damn, look at that damage. Oof. That is so much better. At this point is when I realized I don't have any source of light to navigate the Tomb of the Giants, so I decided to give Ceaseless another try. Unfortunately, since I don't really know how to make him fall, I just had to kill him regularly, I suppose. We get this bonfire. Go back and kill the Drake. And we decide to farm some humanity. I'm pretty sure you already know where I'm going with this. It's a lot easier to just skip the entirety of Izalith like this. So, after offering every single humanity one by one, since we are playing in the Prepare to Die edition, we finally get to the appropriate Covenant level where we can now access the shortcut. We get clapped by Fire Sage, and then proceed to clap him. We get the elevator. We open the shortcut. Get our light source. And since we're down here, let's just kill Bed of Chaos now. A little bit of rolling, a little bit of hitting, a little bit of jumping, and the bug's down. Best boss ever. Right, now that we have a light source, we promptly go down the Tomb of Giants to the second bonfire, and we decide to take on Gravelord Nito. I was debating right now whether or not to use Power Within since the very beginning, but I decided not to. And it didn't really matter because I died from the fall damage. After making sure that we have enough HP to survive the fall, and the hit from his sword, we proceed to clap him a couple of times, and boom, dead. Now we can move on to the next opponent. It is so much better to have an actual weapon as a weapon. We clean the ghost house. We talk to Inward. Open the seal. Get down to the Four Kings. Equip the Covenant of Artorias and decide to just go full Havel and just tank everything. Throw Power Within for good measure. And as you can probably tell, we already have more than enough damage to take him out. So after one last hit, Four Kings go down. First try. We decide to take a little detour to go to the Painter World. We give a little spanking to second best waifu.
But why? What's it for?
We proceed to get the Broken Pendant to gain access to the DLC. We equip our Rare Ring of Sacrifice just to make sure that we don't get cursed. And after allowing Power Within to consume most of our HP, we walk into Seath and promptly get killed. Well, ended up not getting cursed anyway. We get the key, shut off the alarm, get the other key, get the other key, get a Firekeeper soul, run down all the way through the Crystal Cave, break the ice, and after fighting for a while, I failed to see the explosion, and okay, now I'm gonna get cursed, of course. Thankfully I had a Purging Stone, so we use that. We reinforce our Estus Flask that we forgot about. We proceed to get killed again by Seath. But the next time around, we make sure not to make that mistake again. We decide to get another Firekeeper soul.
So be it. Expunging fools. But how? This man is a threat. Master Gwendolyn.
And we reinforce our Estus Flask again. Now at this point it's just finishing touches, so we go into the DLC and proceed to fight the Sanctuary Guardian. I've always had trouble with this boss. Well, you can probably tell why. I suck at avoiding his attacks. After a not too long fight, we finally make it first try. We give Calamate a little pedicure and get ready to take on Artorias. Alright, you bastard, I'm using the same weapon you are. Oh, clearly know how to use it better. Finally, wait, what? This time I got him. Huh. Well, we get the silver pendant, we get the crest key, we free Sif. We open the shortcut, and now, after upgrading the bonfire a little bit, we get ready for possibly the best cutscene in the entire game.
My intent is to persevere. Good, good. I've taken a liking to thee, and I owe thee much for thy service to Artorias.
Man, this guy is cool. God damn, that's cool. Anyway, now it's our turn to do our part. Alright, let's see how this goes. Yep. About what I expected. Eventually we get our group going, and slowly but surely start chipping away at his health bar. One hit at a time. The entire fight ended up taking like upwards of 10 minutes, so I suppose that's not too terrible, but yeah, the windows for attacks are not super big. While they are fairly common, I do still have to be very careful. As you can see, I still ended up using all of my flasks and some humanity just to make sure that I was topped off at every time. And after one final... What? No! I ended up choking at the very last moment. But after just greeting a hit, it goes down. Definitely the hardest battle of the entire run. I suck at Calamy, and that's the very first time that I've actually killed him. We get ready for Manus now. And thankfully, Manus, I'm a little bit more aware of his attacks. I do at least know what he does, and I'm kind of familiar with it. So after a couple of tries and a very long fight, we finally managed to whittle his health down enough to where we start seeing his projectiles. We keep getting hit every now and then, but we always try to maintain the silver pendant on our bar just to make sure that we can use it at a moment's notice. And thankfully, after a while, we get a good set of attacks. And the Feather of the Abyss goes down. Now, just for a little cleanup, let's go back to Taurus. Well, I wanted to use the heavy attack, but as you can probably tell, the heavy attack of this weapon is incredibly slow. But look at that damage. Oof. Wanted to finish the fight with the heavy attack, but since he almost jumped off, I decided to just finish it with a regular attack, and that's fine. We proceed to give Guinevere a new piercing. And at this point, I'm a little bit confused of why hasn't everything gone dark yet? Anyway, eventually it does, and we just hit him a couple of times, and he's down.
Oh, heretic, swathed in dark.
Now with every boss killed, it's now time to go to Lord Woodwind. And I think this is a good time to tell you that I had never parried this boss, so it took me a couple of tries to finally figure out the timing. But eventually I did. One last parry. And the heavy attack. Gwyn goes down. And that's it. Dark Souls 1 fully completed without ever changing our right hand weapon. Oh, now that all of the bosses are down, it's time to trigger the cutscene. Wait. No. Centipede Demon! Centipede Demon! Go back for Centipede Demon! Ah, well. We all know we could have done it, so yeah, it's whatever. I'll do them next time.
Bless thy safe return. Let Kath and
Anyway, thanks for watching. This was my entire run.
we are here
Hope you enjoyed
to
it,
serve
and if you
your
have any
highness.
suggestions for future runs or anything else that you would like to see me do, please do let me know down in the comments.
Let true dark be cast upon the world. Our Lord hath returned.